everyone. Hello. This is Susie Ramroop, your Play Bigger coach. And today I am experimenting a little bit because I'm using my laptop to go live rather than my phone, which is a slightly bizarre experience, I have to say. Now, looking at myself, the picture's not quite as clear, but I'd love to have your feedback on whether this Facebook Live was helpful to you. And the subject that we're going to cover today is around being stuck. So generally when people ask me to describe the position that my potential clients are in, I say that somehow they are stuck. And really, it is the belief that they are stuck that is keeping them stuck. And I wanted to share with you a client story. So I have a private client, wonderful woman, who has been struggling to let go of being stuck. So every time she gets into a good place, she does a good act, she challenges herself, she surprises herself, she chooses to go back to being stuck. And for her, being stuck is just a fearful place. It is a lonely place, it's an isolated place, it's an incapable place, it's a place that lacks joy. And that place is pretty much the same place for everyone that calls themselves stuck. And I wanted to just share with you today the quickest way that I believe you can get unstuck. So let me describe a scenario to you. I'm stuck. I'm in a corporate job. I don't seem to be able to get any more money. I'm stuck at the same salary. I'm stuck in the same department. I have been labelled good at this area, and so now I am pigeonholed in that place. I am stuck in my relationship. Nothing I ever say seems to work. My children don't listen to me, etc., etc. And all of the language that I've used to describe that place is negative. It lacks choice. It suggests that I've been done to. And actually, my interpretation is that I have lost all ability to do anything about it. And the fact is that actually what is lacking is the desire. So this sounds slightly opposite to what you would expect. So recently I met some new people and they said, how long do you tend to work with your private clients for? And I said, I tend to work with them for 6 months at the moment, but actually some people need 12. And they said, that's interesting. Why do people need 12? And I said, because they might spend 6 months clinging on to being stuck. And they said, really? God, that sounds ridiculous to me. You mean they're paying you and they still won't change? And whilst that is a bizarre concept, it's absolutely understandable when you have been in one place for a really long time. And as bad as you may deem that place, it's one that you know. It's familiar to you. So every time you get a possibility of excitement or spontaneity or something new, fear kicks in and you think, well, maybe that place isn't so bad after all, and maybe I'm stuck, but at least I'm safe. At least I know what's going to happen in that place. So people turn to tolerate that place, even though that place makes them feel crap every day. They wake up every day desiring to be somewhere else. But the language that they use, the way they speak to themselves and the way they operate is the same way they have always spoken, felt and operated. And that's why that in order to play bigger, you have to stretch yourself outside of that comfort zone and do something different. Now, how you do that is difficult for many people. And that is why people work with me privately, so that I can focus on their version of being stuck and their comfort zone and how they stretch at a pace that suits them beyond their comfort zone. But I'm going to give you some insight today. And really, I want you to use the fact that you are stuck in a positive way. So you are stuck, wedded to, gelled to, adhered to, but you're persisting with this one place that happens to be a place you don't want to be in. What if you persisted equally consistently with a different place? What if the things that I gave you to do, the challenges that I set you, that aren't big, scary jump off a cliff challenges, they are try and do this one thing differently, but you stuck at it. You did it consistently. You persistently followed that thing, that one small thing. So I'll give you another example of one of my clients. She had a problem in her marriage. That was her chief problem when she came to me. Now, what she didn't realise, that she realises now, is that that was just one scenario that was hurting her the most, that caused her enough pain that she wanted to change her life. And actually the problem was she'd lost sight of herself. The problem with her marriage magnified the fact that she didn't know how to be on her own. And the threat of her marriage ending just showed that actually that scenario of being on her own could come up a lot. Now, I'm not asking you to operate out of fear of being alone, but I asked her specifically to do things differently that would eradicate that fear of being on her own. So stretching outside of her comfort zone was not going home straight away. And I recognised this in her because I recognised it in myself some years ago, where I was constantly rushing to get home. And actually, on those days, I didn't have a child at that time, and my boyfriend wasn't even home, and I had nothing to do specifically, so I was rushing to get home. For what? You know, there was nothing telling me to get home except my computer program in my head that said that I needed to be there if I wasn't at work, or I needed to be doing something worthwhile. So her stretch, like my stretch, was to spend time, unplanned, spontaneous time on my own. So that started with me not rushing home, with me swinging into a shop and just having a look, even though I didn't need anything on the way home, which spread into going for a coffee on my own. And now I'm at the stage where I can happily go to the cinema, the theatre, a restaurant, on holiday even, as I will be next week, on my own. Now, I was in the same place as that client who was terrified to be on her own. And I had a 10-year relationship that broke up, and my number one fear was not what am I going to do without him, it was what am I going to do on my own. So in order to grow out of that place, I needed to get stuck to a different idea. That actually, maybe by being on my own and making choices for me, maybe that would be better than being with someone else. Maybe then I could make choices for myself. And yeah, maybe there were too many choices to choose from, but they were choices and I could choose them myself for me. So what I really want to suggest that you do today is look at where you're stuck and check in with the energy that that takes away from you, because staying in that place you might think is safe and familiar, but it's costing you. It's costing you every single minute of every single day when you're not doing the thing that you really want to do. So instead of using all that negative language about the place you don't want to be in, start thinking about the place that you do want to be in and pick one thing that you consistently persist with doing and get stuck to that instead. So you've already demonstrated your ability to stick to something. It's just the fact that you think it's the easiest thing in your life. It's the status quo. And actually the energy that you get from persisting and staying around long enough to see the difference with something new, that is when you're going to see changes in your life. So as many of you know, I started running in November. I spent 20 years telling myself I hated running. Running wasn't for me. I don't like running. Oh, running, it's bad for you. It's bad for your knees. And all the other excuses I could come up with. And actually, when I saw a true benefit of running, it wasn't about my fitness. It wasn't about the body that I wanted. Those things weren't powerful enough to get me to run. It was about the fact that when I run, I get such clarity in my business. And when I come back from a run, I'm so energized to do the things that I might otherwise talk myself out of in my business, like getting on a Facebook Live, talking at length, even though no one's watching me live. It doesn't matter. The fact is I feel good about it, and I feel good because I have introduced patterns in my life that I stuck to that would pull me forwards, rather than settling for being stuck with the thing that will keep me in the same place. So if this was helpful for you today, I would really love you to express a like or give me a heart, or please comment and tell me what difference it made. But above all, I want you to share this message. So I would love you to hit the share button now and share this with as many people as you think it would help. And if it hasn't helped you today, I actually have a bizarre request, which is watch it again. Please watch it again, because you may be resisting this idea. And that's because you so love the place that you are in, the familiar place of being stuck. And you don't have a big enough reason to depart from that area yet. When you're in enough pain, or you're in enough discomfort in your comfort zone, you'll be prepared to leave it, and you'll be prepared to ask help, and you'll be prepared to do the work consistently and persistently to get yourself out of that place. And you know what? It's the attitude to be consistently persistent that is the tough part, not the action itself. So again, I really hope this helped you today. Please share this on your page and tag anyone that you think it would be specifically useful for. And if you have any questions, please pose them, because this Facebook Live is every Friday at 12 o'clock on this business page on Facebook at Susie Ramroop Coach. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye.